Hello everybody, welcome to another video diary. This is my video log 4 and this video is about feelings. I've decided to do this video today. I wasn't going to do one today. I decided to do one today because I had a really shitty day yesterday. Yeah, a really shitty day, and it's really pushed me back, you know, to some extent in my recovery. I know I've got to learn to deal with these situations, but you know, whilst I'm at such a crucial point in my investigation, I am not my strongest self. You know, I've been knocked down so many pegs just by having to revisit all this stuff, so I'm not at my strongest. And you may have noticed yesterday that I uploaded a video of an NHS worker blocking in a disabled driver. Well, I guess it's no guess that I was the disabled driver. And these are sometimes issues that, you know, you're going to deal with personal issues in your recovery. So this is why I want to explain what's going on for me, because, you know, you may in the future find some similarities, you may have similar issues, maybe not quite, you know, I hope you don't experience what I experienced yesterday, because it was quite aggressive and horrible. But it's learning how we, you know, it's not the factor that's stressed us out, it's about what we do, how we deal with it. We're always going to get people that cross our paths and, excuse my language, piss us off. Sometimes more than others. So basically what happened was, so obviously whilst I'm going through this process, I needed some kind of intervention. So I currently have a mental health worker. It's not something that I'm ashamed to say of. I was recently diagnosed with complex PTSD, which I've said before. So, you know, I need a little bit of help to help me get through. At the time that I, you know, last September when I started my case and I reported it, it's had a huge impact on me, as to be expected. And the way I deal with things has changed as well, as to be expected, because I'm not at my best. You know, I'm creeping outside at 6 AM in the morning to do my video blogs, because I feel this is actually helping me. I feel my message being out there for you guys to hear is helping me. So this is a journey about self-recovery for me, and I don't mean that to sound selfish, but this is about me, you know, getting support myself and going through this journey. But, and I say but with a big but, because in the process, you know, it's going to help other people that are going to come forward in the future to see that, you know, there's a video blog of a real person who's gone through this process that will be able to give you, you know, regular updates about how the case is progressing to a certain extent without non-disclosure, what to expect at these different steps, like the video interview that I did a couple of blogs ago. You know, I didn't know what that experience was going to be like without, you know, nobody told me. There wasn't a vlog that I could watch. I certainly didn't see a room beforehand. But anyway, back to the point, because, you know, I'm the queen of going off diversion. Yesterday I went to my mental health support place. I'm not driving anymore, obviously, due to my seizures, so my husband drove. He's accidentally parked in the wrong place. I didn't know you couldn't park there. I mean, I wasn't paying attention. I have anxiety issues, so just being out in public, you know, throws me off edge. I'm not able to think properly or compute properly or anything else, because the anxiety is rife, you know. But I managed to get out of the house. I managed to get there, so I was feeling good, you know. Well done me. I've got out of the house today, you know. I looked socially acceptable. I've got to an appointment that I needed to go to. But little did we know, whilst we was in that appointment, whilst we were still in the mental health building, an NHS nurse has taken it upon herself to aggressively block our car into the parking space at the time of leaving the mental health place and walking up to the car park. We saw a car that was just blocked in front of our car, and it was blatantly blocked in an aggressive way so that we could not get out. It was blocking our bumper, nobody else's. So I was quite confused. I was calm, I was quite confused, you know, but the heckles went up straight away, because I knew by the way the car was directed, it was personal. And I couldn't think for the life of me, bear with me, why somebody would block my car in a personal vendetta when they don't even know me. I mean, we've only had this car 6 months. It's brand new, so it's not like it's a, you know, an old banger or, you know, anything like that. It was parked well. But anyway, we saw that there was another building next to where we were parked, called Churchview. We popped in there, knocked on the door and said, you know, did you know who's got a black Citroen or whatever it was? And she just had this look in her eyes, and she kind of grinned a bit, and I felt really unnerved. I wasn't sure what kind of building we'd walked into. But she gave me that grin, and I said to her, listen, if it's a member of your staff that's blocked us in, come on, you know. I didn't say come on, you know. I said you need to get them out here now, or I'm gonna kick off. I'm on the edge, man. Give me some credit. I'm on the edge. I'm going through, you know, I don't know at what moment my perpetrator is going to be arrested. It could be any day now. It could have happened yesterday. I have no idea, because I'm not kept up to date by the police. I feel like I'm not getting regular updates by the police. I last spoke to them about 3 weeks ago. So back to the point of the story. We walked back to the car, me and my husband. He's saying to me, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, because he knows that recently, with all of the emotional pressure and stress that I've been through, it knocks me about, you know. I mean, the last 3 or 4 days, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know if it's just from doing these videos, from getting real and exposing myself, it's absolutely wiped me out. I mean, bearing in mind I've got multiple sclerosis, the fatigue in general is humongous, but I've been absolutely battered. It's probably why I get up so early, to be fair, to do these videos, just for you guys, you know, of course, because we love you. But anyway, we got back to the car. Here she goes again. Got back to the car, and then I could hear 2 women walking down the path, and they were laughing to themselves and giggling. So my heckles have gone up even more, because I thought, oh my God, here we go. We're actually going to have a full-on ruckus. And as she comes over, she starts, this nurse lady, she starts saying it, some stuff. She's in a full NHS NHS uniform. You know, she's got her NHS badge. The woman that's come with her, turns out later on, is her manager. So they've both come out to the car. I mean, this is another service provider's manager, member of staff, have come out because her member of staff has blocked my car in purposely so that we can't move. And she's come out with her member of staff to what? Justify her behaviour, to prove her point that they're pissed off that we've parked in the wrong place. And I said to the NHS worker, I said, do you think it's acceptable to, you know, to park here and do this? And she said, well, yeah, actually, it is. What is coming to this world? I'm absolutely bamboozled by how that played out. You know, I'm trying so hard to stay calm in this situation myself. And to be honest, you know, I think I did pretty well under the circumstances. I had the common sense to pull my camera out, because I knew when I heard them walking down the path and giggling, I knew it was going to kick off potentially. I told the nurse, I said, listen, you know, because you don't know what people are going through. I said, I've got a MS and I've got a brain tumour. She turned around and goes, yes, so have I. You know, that, she's an NHS worker, and she's just belittled what I've said to her. I've not sworn. Yes, my voice was stern and volumised to some point, but she's an NHS worker. You know, you don't behave like that in public, in front of other people, and to somebody who's, you know, accidentally parked in the wrong place for 20 minutes. So basically, that explains why the other video went up yesterday. I kept thinking to myself all night, oh, I should take it down. Shall I take it down? Shall I not take it down? But you know what? I mean, I went on there 5 times to go and take that video down. And then I thought to myself, because I watched it again and again and again, and I thought, no, because this is a perfect example of things that we are going to come across. It's going to be a different person in a different setting, but it's going to be the same kind of scenario. Somebody is going to be out there who's had a bad day just to extinguish your fire. I realised yesterday, I think by that event, I was a little bit shocked because it had such a huge impact on me. Because I'm only, you know, I'm only human. I don't tend to try to be someone I'm not. I'm me. I'm focusing on my recovery. I can't think outside that box and do more, you know. Maybe I should have been a little bit more mindful. Well, my husband, it wasn't actually my husband that part there, so let's all, excuse me, let's start a hate campaign against my husband, shall we? Yeah. For parking in the wrong place, having his wife upset, you know, it wasn't his fault. He wasn't to know. We were on the mental health ground. But the point is, on their carpet park, the point is, people are gonna just, who've had bad days themselves, they're not going to be considerate about how other people are feeling. Come on, we've all done it. I'm guilty of it. I've probably had a pop at somebody in the supermarket because they poked me with their trolley and I was having a bad day. Didn't even stop for 2 minutes to think about what that person might have been going through for that day. You know, she could have had some terrible news. He could have had some terrible news. Just trying to shop to, you know, keep themselves together and do something. You don't know what somebody's going through, and it had such a humongous effect on me. Yeah, it's just, I just couldn't fathom what happened yesterday. Obviously, my husband phoned up to make a complaint. Actually got through to the manager who had come out at the time. She knew full well as soon as she heard his voice it was him. She stammered and she stuttered, you know, and she apologised at first, then she tried to sweep it under the carpet a bit. But however, that's by the by, that's my personal stuff. But I just want to explain to you in the best way that I can, which is really not the best way at all. But we're going to come across these things, these issues. I mean, it floored me yesterday. I still have a headache today. I don't find it easy to let go of things, you know. I grew up in a culture where you get used and abused, and you would think by now I'd be used to that kind of stuff, and I'd be an aggressive cowbag that wants to fight my way all through, you know. As some of my family members may say, I am an aggressive cowbag, but I try to do things in the right way. I try to stand up for my rights. The one thing I've learned, or the decision I made, and this is crucial, the decision I made for myself the day that I reported my perpetrator was that I will never, ever, ever let anybody walk all over me again. I will never let anybody hurt me unnecessarily, and I won't be a walkover. I've been a walkover all of my life. I'm 44 now. I've spent my whole life thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, my hair's the wrong colour. You know, there's people out there in their 80s that have better teeth than me, that are whiter. I wear glasses, I have slight hearing problems. There's so many other health conditions I've gone into that I've got that I haven't gone into. Obviously my age, so you've got the menopause on top as well. So many different things I'm trying to, that I'm going through, and I'm just trying to get through day by day. And just by somebody else being pissed off can have such an impact on your day. I mean, for example, the day before, I was buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I'd been waiting to go to a local group in my area that's for women only. It's a trauma-based group called Joy Project. I went there with my support worker on Wednesday. Somehow we accidentally spent the first hour of the group in the wrong group, and we were sat in a drugs recovery group. Amazing people, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed myself for the first hour, but when they gave me the sheet of paper when I walked in saying to put down like my drug addiction, how much I drink, how much I smoke, how much I take, and I mean we're talking about drugs, not coffee intake, nicotine and stuff. And I've looked at the form, and I've seen the questions down there and all these different drugs, and I've looked back up at the work, and I've said, but I don't take drugs. And she looked at me and she says, oh, that's new, we've not had that one before. And I thought, well, what, is every trauma-based person take drugs? Is that the new thing? And I don't think she meant it like that. I think she just didn't know what to say. She was lovely, and the guy that was running the group, he was lovely too. And I sat there and I gave my feedback, because I've messed around in my past. But you'll get to know more about my history the more we delve in, the more, the more I get regular followers that really want to know what's going on, and, they're there to support me, then I will delve into more deeper personal things. So that's all yet to come. But yeah, it was hilarious. We sat there for the first hour. I think I was too scared to get up and get out of the group. But I knew it wasn't the right group. I knew my work in it wasn't the right group, but we were still very, very confused. But by the by, they reached their fag break, so we came outside. I mean, the sun was shining. I'd got out of the house. I'd been anxious as anything all day, and that had just really humoured me to such a way that maybe on a different day it could have really upset me, and I could have gone downhill big time. I thought, oh, sorry, I'm never going to a group again. But it didn't, because the people there were really nice. And if you treat people nicely, people tend to feel that vibe, and then they're on the same path as you. But by the by, we came out at the cigarette break time, found the right group. We went into there. Unfortunately, there was only 40 minutes left of the group. It's the first time I've been to a women's group. And I've got to say, it blew my mind. There was just a few women in there, and in the 40 minutes I was in there, I had a fantastic time. I knew that everybody else in the group was there because of trauma-based reasons. We didn't discuss what those trauma-based reasons were. Just when we were sat around a table, some of them were colouring in books, some of them were writing poetry. Somebody else was doing a decoupage on a glass jar. And it was just pleasant. And when I sat down, one of the other girls said to me, you need a piece of paper, write down whatever it is that's been negative in your life today, fold it up and put it in the bin jar. And I thought, that's a really good idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done things where we fold up feelings before and put them in jars, like in school and stuff like that, but this was an adult life, so I'm an adult, and she's asked me to write down what it is that's bothering me and put it in the jar, and I thought, that's amazing, that's brilliant. So I did that, and I put down what was bugging me for that day, and then lo and behold, it was obviously my case, my abuse case. I want it done and dusted as I suppose does everybody. But yeah, and I later found out that the girl that told me to, or said to me, this is what you need to do, she'd only been there that day. It was her first day. And she explained that she was nervous and she was, she was scared to talk. She was worried about sounding stupid and her words not coming out properly, and that she suffered with these other health issues. Again, as to be expected by women that have gone through traumatic experiences, or anybody that's gone through, it's not just women, anybody who's gone through traumatic experiences. And then I was chatting to another girl, or I should say lady, because they're not girls, but they're older than girls, are ladies. And she was fantastic. She was telling me how it all worked. She seemed really fun. Everybody told me all their names, and I said to them, well, I'm going to forget those because I've got a real short-term memory problem. But it was lovely, and you know what? I've never heard. I've been a victim of childhood sexual abuse since, well, for over 30 years, and I have never ever once been told about a group like this in all my adult life. I've been to other groups, don't get me wrong, but this was a group specifically for trauma-based people, and I was buzzing for the rest of the day. The next group is next Wednesday, and I can't wait to go. I'm going to turn up early. I'm in a very male-led house. There is no other women, so being sat around a table with those women was so empowering for me. So empowering for me, and it made me realise that what it is that I'm trying to set up, if done in the right way, can be a massive, massive, massive resource for women like us. It's set up by a lady who volunteers. She set the group up over a year ago, and it's thriving now. And this is what I want for women like us, where we can just sit round a table, have a coffee pot there, teapot there, a few bickies, and we sit round the table and we just chat and we talk out what we've been through, and we look for the similarities and we build from that. Wouldn't it be amazing to be able to go to a group, specifically based for women like us, just to be around women like us, so that we know that we all have something in common, and build from that, and build a recovery from that, and help support each other. Unfortunately, for something like that to happen, there needs to be volunteers that are willing to run it. It would have to start off by coming out of the volunteers' pocket to fund things like the room, the tea, the coffee, the biscuits, etc. But they're minor details, and that's nothing for anybody else to worry about, because I can make sure that's all sorted. But that would be my dream, would be to have, groups for victims of sexual abuse and rape, that they can have little meetings that they can go to in the evening or in the morning or whatever time suits best in certain areas, and have that fellowship, that strength of women helping women. It would be amazing. It would be an amazing world if there was just far more support groups out there for whatever issues people have been through. But there's no funding. Funding's cut. I didn't know about this group until somebody told me. You don't know about these groups until somebody tells you, and this is a point that I think I've mentioned in previous videos, it's a tough one. I know I've blabbered on a bit, but I just want to say thank you for listening to me. You guys, whoever you guys are, because I don't even know who you are, but just by having this channel and knowing that it could reach somebody, even if it's just one person that I can reach and make a small difference in their life, then I know that what I'm doing is a good thing, and I will build this into something massive. You know, they say you've got to be the change you want to see, and they're dead right. It's unfortunate that we've got to go out there and do it ourselves, but let's show the world that we are capable. You know, we go through this stuff. Yes, we go off key for a bit, but then we put our hands together. Sorry about that. So we just reach out to each other, and we grab a hand and we hold on, and that's how we go. Some fantastic news, by the way. I'm really excited to share with you all. 44 years old, and I'm now officially a student, so well done to me. I am studying my level 2 counselling skills. My dream is to then go on to do my level 3 and then my diploma and become a qualified counsellor. I intend to provide free services for women that have been affected by childhood sexual abuse. It means that I can be a qualified, just by doing my level 2 plus some other courses that I'm looking at. I will be able to be a qualified teacher in presenting my mini courses. I mean, the courses that I plan to do, I'm already qualified in. However, the qualifications are slightly out of date, so they need refreshing. But all of that's going to be in tow. Basically, the point is, I'm just really excited that after all this time, I've managed to put myself forward for education. You know, because of my childhood abuse and the way it happened, I didn't get to finish senior school. I didn't get to do my GCSEs, and it's such a shame because, you know, I was what you'd call a boff. I don't know if you've heard that expression before. It's quite an old one, but I was what you'd be called a boffin at school, because I always used to get my nut down, do my work, because I wanted to do well. You know, the teachers were my friends as opposed to the students, because of what was going on for me in my family life. I hung on to them for support. Not that I ever spoke a word. I wish I had at the time. I really do. But so, you know, I was gutted to leave school without qualifications when I know that I would have done so well. And I attempted to go back to college a few times throughout my life. I did. I registered at a college and started doing a level 2 health and social care course. Unfortunately, my health took a turn for the worse at the time. This was just before getting diagnosed with the wrong diagnosis of fibromyalgia, but I was going through a hell of a time, and I had to quit that course, and I was absolutely gutted. There was another time I attempted to do the same course, and that didn't work out for me. But on the other hand, over the years, I have done a phenomenal amount of courses, the ACT training, SMART goals, a lot of recovery-based training, ACT, where you move towards or away from the direction you want to go in. It's about pausing and stopping and taking stock right there in that situation. You know, for example, you know, if you get up in the morning and you always go out of the door and you go left to go to work, but every time you turn left and walk down that path, somebody comes out of their house and they punches you on the nose. So, you know, if you keep coming out of that door and turning left, you're always going to get what you always got. But if you turn out of that door and go right, you might have to walk an extra 5 minutes out of your way, but you don't get punched in the nose. So what do? Do you keep getting punched in the nose until you're sick of it and you can't take it anymore, and then you punch them back? That's probably what I would do. Or do you take a different direction? So there's lots of skills and things I've learned over the years. However, I intend to be fully qualified before I start teaching these qualifications, before I start teaching these courses to women like me and you, because I want to make sure that I'm at the very best that I can be. So yeah, level 2 counselling skills are in the pipeline. I finished my first unit last night. Woohoo, way to go. I'll be doing my second one today. It normally takes 10 days to get your units marked. However, I can continue with my next next part of my course before it being marked, but I intend to get that smashed out the way, so I'm going to move on to the next course. So yeah, watch this space. A lot of lessons, well, all of my lessons, my mini courses are going to be online, so you're not going to miss them. We'll point you in the right direction. But there'll be lots of little workshops that will be created around things like what happened to me yesterday and how we deal with it effectively. Making a video and sticking it all over YouTube probably isn't the right way of dealing with it effectively, but my emotions ran away with me yesterday. Like I said, I did go to take the video down 5 times, but I'm obviously clearly still upset. I still feel like I'm on this mission for justice for what she did to me yesterday, and I'll probably calm down later today and I'll probably take the video off. But then, you know, this just goes to show these are real things that you face. You know, these are real issues that you face, and you have to choose how you're going to deal with it. And if you don't feel you chose with it the right way, then next time you do it different. I know I've waffled on. I'm really, really sorry. I hope this video hasn't been a complete waste of time. But I guess, you know, at the very minimum, it's you getting to know me a little bit more. And hopefully, you know, that makes it easier for when you do listen to my story in more detail. It's a shame that I can't go into all the details I want to go into, really make that difference of support for you guys just from listening to my story. But unfortunately, it's like a non-gagging order. You know, whilst my case is an open investigation, I mean, I could tell you whatever I want, but if I start telling you bits out of my story, it then breaks my credibility. And for anybody who's been through this, we know that our credibility is the most important thing. It's the only way that we're going to get a sentence, and for them to be found guilty, it's the only way for justice. So, you know, that's really important. Yeah, so anyway, that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. I'm sure it won't be long before another video is available for you guys. Please, please, please try to get the word out. You know, this is yes, it's about my recovery at the moment, but it's also about helping you on yours. So let's help get the word out. Let people know that there are people out there that, you know, that want to help. There are people out there that are willing to listen. If you've got any questions or anything like that, or anything you'd like to see or hear about, please put them down below in the comments. You know, if you don't interact with me, then I don't know that I'm helping in any way. You can tell me things that maybe aren't so helpful, tell me things that I could do or cover that would be helpful. If there's anything I've missed so far from the early part of my journey with recovery, let me know and I can cover those next time. If you do write any comments down below, then I will get back to you. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, sorry, Threads, you name it, pretty much across multi-platforms. We've got a big support page on Facebook, Daughters of Justice UK. That is our main page. We also then have Daughters of Justice UK support group. That's a private closed group. It's not a closed group, sorry, but it's a private group, so any comments that you want to make can be completely anonymous. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to let on who you are. It's a safe place to share. There isn't very many members in there at the moment because we've only just started out. We're just starting to try and get the word out, but we have 3 fantastic moderators in that group, and they are more than happy to respond and share any knowledge. There's 2 lovely ladies that have already been through the whole process. There's me that's going through the process. So there is help and support available. On our main Facebook page, you can find the files to find up-to-date information about child abuse laws and things like that. We are going to try to find as much information as we can for the support services that are available to you, should you want to take a step forward and report your case. So lots of information going on there. So please visit the group. daughtersofjustice.org, the website, that's going live very soon. I'm doing some more work on that today. I meant to do it yesterday, but I was too stressed out. So yeah, lots of things happen in the background, qualifications, education, training, because I want to make sure that you guys are in the safest hands possible. There's no point doing something unless you're going to do it properly. And that's not to say that I'm ever going to make mistakes, because I will. I'm human and I'm fallible. But more to the point, I want to be able to help women like you. I want to use my experiences and turn it into something good, turn it into something positive, turn it into something tangible and real. And that's my hopes. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, you lovely people. Please comment in the box below. I'd love to converse with you all. Thinking about starting a podcast soon as well. So anyway, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. One love.
I'm aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way, the water's so still, and my pain's gone away. The air is much cleaner after the rain. Follow my love, the sentence in spring air. Follow the moon into the sun. There's a call from the beginning scene, but the sorrow of yesterday disappear. Let your body be new. I'm a one.